Mom, Dad, this is my girlfriend, Nicole. Hi. Hello, sweetie. Oh, aren't you cute? We've got dinner ready. I hope you like barbecue ribs. I do. Yeah, I can see that. Dad, what? Nothing wrong with being a heavy girl. More of her to love. Honey, I'll take a beer. Can't have ribs without it. Sure, what can I get for you two, Pop? Yeah. Yes, please. What is that you're doing with your fingers? Stimming. It's one of those autistic things I told you about. Don't worry about it. Well, it's very distracting. Oh, leave her be. Just get the drinks, woman. So, school's starting up again. What's on the docket for your kids? Given the stress of the first week of school, we're going to take it easy. Doodle days where they just have to fill a page in their sketchbook with doodles, and splatter day where we go outside and throw paint at the canvas. Once they've got their feet under them, then we'll start diving into things like a bit of art history, using foreground versus background, perception and vantage points, things like that. Oh, so you're an art teacher. Thought those were all hippies. Well, I am a Buddhist who practices witchcraft. Ah, well, just don't smoke your pot in the classroom. Most smokers among the faculty do it in their cars so the kids don't see. Yeah, that's probably for the best. I'm just surprised to see someone like you in such an educated role. You know, when I was in school, the only black girls on staff were the lunch ladies. Didn't think I'd ever see them become teachers. Thanks for that, Dad. What? It's a compliment. Your Nicole must be something special. Here are the drinks. Really, Nicole, enough of that. Mom, it's distracting. Bail? Bail. Dad, you did better than I thought you would. You just gotta rein in that racism a little bit. Mom, don't touch people without their permission. We'll try this again later. You can't just leave. Can and will. That's the beauty of being an adult with a credit card. Bye. So, introducing Nicole to the parents didn't go well? Well, Dad said how shocked he was that a black girl could be a teacher instead of a lunch lady, and Mom tried to stop her stimming. We didn't even get to the ribs. Oh no. That's awful. I'm sorry, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but that sounds harsh. How's your Nicole doing? Oh, she's fine. We went to a steakhouse instead, the one with the really good mac and cheese. I don't mean to talk bad about your parents. Oh no, please, talk shit about them all you want. They deserve it. I'm just trying to figure out how you came from that household. You recall how I initially handled it with drugs. After that, though, queer community came in clutch, dragged me to a slightly better sense of self, kicking and screaming. Hey, do you want to split a sundae? So, the day wasn't completely crap, and I have gotten an apology text from Mom, so maybe we'll try again around the holidays. Kelly can distract them with her latest scandal. Well, if you want a distraction, food shelves are so busy that time of year you'll all be together in the same room, but guaranteed you won't be able to say more than 5 words to each other. Avoid family confrontation with the spirit of Christmas charity. Love it. The only downside is that the volunteers and homeless community will pick up on your energy and we're a bit of a gossipy bunch. Would not be the first time. Hey, sir, how can I help? Where is that bitch owner? She's busy dealing with important shit, and I'd clean that mouth if you don't want her to curse you with silence. I'm already cursed. She had no right and needs to remove it. I highly doubt that. Oh, I remember you. You're the one who thought women shouldn't talk to other men if they had a fella, which is what the kids would call a big red flag. She only cursed you to not get a girlfriend until you saw women as people. If you weren't a sexist, you wouldn't have a problem. I am not sexist, and she doesn't get to do that. Now, look, we're all men here, non-binary, whatever. Point is, I was a catch before that fairy did her little magic trick. I want a girlfriend, wife, kids. 7 years is way too long. Well, here's a suggestion. Start treating women like people. I already hold the door open for them and pay for the dates. That is superficial at best. Sir, if all you're going to do is cause a scene, we're going to have to ask you to leave. Cute. I'm not leaving until she fixes the problem. She overhears one little thing about a boundary I set for my girlfriends, and she completely overreacts. How is that fair? I've met far too many women running from men like you. It's one of the biggest causes of homelessness in this country. I'd say Bob didn't react hard enough. Once again, I'm telling you to leave. I won't ask a third time. Am I tripping or? Yeah, you might want to cover your eyes. Tell that bitch to get out here, or I'll make her regret. Yeah! Oh. Fuck, my eyes! Well, some people just don't know how to read a room. Oh, I'm sorry, JC. Did I get you there? Little bit. I told you to cover your eyes. You weren't going for sear the eyeballs out of their skull, right? No, the spot should go away in an hour. That was just a warning. Did I forget to mention that I'm Seraphim? Yeah. Yeah, you did. Exactly what happened while I was doing inventory? That was my fault. I got a little carried away with the rude customer. Hey, don't apologize, okay? It was awesome. And my vision's already coming back. I mean, the spots are there, but if I got behind the wheel, I probably wouldn't crash. We should come up with a code word or something the next time you're gonna do that. Going to do what? So you remember that fellow a while back you cursed to not get a girlfriend before he saw women as full people rather than props to control? Well, he came back. I won't repeat what he said, but suffice to say he was not happy with the situation and demanded you fix it. So I told him to go away, but unfortunately I didn't think to warn JC to look away. Worth it. But also still reeling from the fact that you're a literal angel. I thought you guys had wings. We do, and so do I just hide them. Seraphim wings are like 20 feet across. That they are very noticeable, and when you're on the streets, well, it draws attention, and not always the good kind. Best case scenario, some poor soul comes asking for a heavenly blessing, and then goes away when you explain the seraphim aren't actually God's angels that you see in the Bible. Have you been to their realm? There's a world war happening every other week. Not Christian at all. I'm very familiar with the warlike attitudes of the seraphim. I'm not, but also don't care right now. Right, well, that's best case scenario, which is awkward and heartbreaking enough. Worst case, they get angry at you for withholding heaven's blessings, or assume that because you're seraphim you must have money or magic and so jump ya. Or they're the kinds of people turned away from churches and are angry enough to try to take that out on what they see as God's messengers. No, I'm not saying I have it as bad as others. In fact, when I panhandle on the streets, I usually got more money than the fella next to me. And the demons and goblin types, well, they have even worse luck. And even without all that, wings are very difficult to maintain on a budget, never mind when I'm drifting from couch to couch. Okay, I get the why. Still stuck on how. Well, see, a few months into my situation, I noticed a gang spending time in my area of the cities and so kept an eye on them. As I did, I saw them jump this poor fella, so I scared them off the same way I did to our rude guest, and it turns out that fella was a fairy. And you know how fairies are when they think they're in your debt, they want to get rid of that debt as soon as possible. Given your current situation, I assume they weren't trained enough in magic to pull you out of homelessness? No, unfortunately not, but they were good with glamour and so enchanted my cross necklace here. Whenever I wear it, my wings get glamored into tattoos on my back. Long-term glamour of body parts like that is terrible for your health. They could atrophy. Yes, they told me that. I take the wings out at least once a week to go flying. Good. What about the, light show? Did you have to go to school for that, or? Well, you can. Some seraphim are able to turn the light into something solid, like shields or tools or weapons. But most of us just do what I do. The light correlates with emotions you see. There's like smiling or crying. With enough control, you can hold it in no matter what you're feeling. But sometimes you feel so much, or you're in an environment where you can let go, and it just spills out of you. Although it's mostly joy and rage that does that. Grief and sorrow do not cause light, instead dampening it. In fact, the seraphim word for grief is the same as shadow. Huh. Well, now I know why you got so pissed when Ben mentioned angelic cults. What I told him is what I told my mother, but that didn't stop her from winding up in jail. Oh, what? So you know how some people believe that seraphim have holy healing powers even though we don't? That belief is centuries old. Didn't they used to use that to scam people? Still do. Back in the early days of Judaism and Christianity, when seraphim first bumped into this realm, they were at war with the abyssal realm, the one full of demons. So the seraphim weaponized the local religion to get food and tools and weapons, even some human people to come with them to go work as servants. Sometimes they still do that today, but they gotta go through the global economy and treaties and such. They still get favored over most other realms that Earth deals with because of that old belief. But anyway, these days, some seraphim on Earth use their light powers to claim divine miracles and scam poor gullible people with visions and the word of God and even holy healing powers. And that's what your mom did? She started a whole following after moving me and herself to this realm. She got sick of all the fighting, tried to talk my father into coming with her, but he didn't want to go. He loved fighting. So she came here and quickly learned that duping people could make her millions. She tried to pull me into it, but that just made me sick to my stomach. I do believe in God and his message and miracles, but they have to come from a place of honesty. Every time she was revealed as a fraud, she'd move towns, even fake her death, and get a whole new identity and start all over again. Eventually, the FBI caught up to her, and now she's serving 15 years, which is just to blink in the eyes of the seraphim. You're immortal too? No, we only live about 200 or 300 years, and I'm 150. She's 230. But even though I wasn't involved, her shenanigans lost me my job. Controlling lights are great for studio and theater work, but the company I worked for thought I was associated with her crimes and so fired me. And let me tell you, that was the worst timing. I just pulled a mortgage on my house for the first time in decades to handle the medical bills. Medical bills? Should we be concerned? No, not anymore. I had pancreatic cancer, but I beat that years ago. Unfortunately, the medical bills are no joke, and even with the mortgage, I couldn't pay them, which destroyed my credit. My wife died a decade ago and we didn't have kids, so no help there. Then I couldn't pay any bills with the job loss, so the debt collectors took the whole house, and now here I am. Well, shit. Tough draw, man. Believe me, this is better than the last time I was homeless. During the Great Depression, let me tell you, it was so much worse. Okay, does anyone who work here have decent family relations besides me? Drek's parents are good. Husnia also has not put up any red flags. You've met Raythus. Oh yeah. Jennifer Charles, how are your eyes? Still spotty, but getting better. Then, since Oscar caused the damage, he will be assisting you until your vision fully recovers. That sounds fair. Once you're done with break, I'll go. Drek and Raythu already went? Yep. Any funny memes? No, I'm looking up homeschooling. Homeschooling? My eldest is going to be preschool age next year, and Asif and I are exploring our options. Ugh, why? I mean, it's basically free daycare, right? Speak for yourself. Long hours, way too much homework that studies show don't actually make us smarter. Crappy curriculum, especially about history. Bullies, especially for non-humans or non-Christians or non-white people. Oh yeah, I never had to deal with those. Corval, that is a privilege reserved for fire-breathing lizards the size of a bus. Those are all very good, valid points, but the main reason we're considering homeschool is because we don't want our daughters to get shot. Another dragon privilege? Yep. Boss or Nicole would probably load him up with good luck charms if he wanted, no questions asked. I mean, at least you're in Minnesota. School shootings are most common in the southern states. More relaxed gun laws. You know it. Guys, I'm a school shooting survivor. What? 7th grade. There was this kid named Troy. Nobody liked him because he treated everyone like dirt. He sat next to me in math class and just gave me the creeps. The one time he had a sort of girlfriend, he threatened to hit her because she wanted to go see a movie instead of the arcade. Well, anyway, he got his hands on a pistol, one of those old-timey ones in those Western movies. Revolver. Yeah, that. Left math class to get it from his locker and came back to kill the teacher and probably some of us. Luckily, he loaded it up with the wrong bullet, so it jammed and nobody got hurt. I think he's still in jail. But the middle school's just on the other side of town, so it's not just Georgia. You think they're actually going to change the laws this time around? I really wish I could lie right now. You know, the Canadian border is just an hour's fly north. We are seriously considering that option. We need more scones. Which flavor? Blueberry, chocolate chip, 4 cheese? Yes. Great. Oscar, help me with the mixing. Oh, you got it. Now, where was I? First morning in jail, tattoo guy bothered you over breakfast. Right. Well, I didn't have my coffee yet, so I thought I'd actually done something to give offense when this fella came up to me and stole the muffin right off my tray. So I look at him and I go, I'm sorry, did I accidentally bump you back there and knock your muffin on the floor? And he just stares at me and goes, you don't know how this works, do you? And I go, of course not, it's my first time. Is there a rule book? The guards didn't give me one. He almost fell over, he was laughing so hard. I'll bet. He bugged you after that? No, we got along just fine. He was only in for some light stealing. Oh, I've run into inmates like that. Back in the 50s and 60s, I got arrested for activism, and a good chunk of the inmates just didn't bother me. They even respected me because of that. But then there were those who thought fairies and other paras, and basically every other non-white, non-cishet, non-male person could go suck an egg, so they would target me. One guy, taller than Raythu, came up, no words, just to beat me up on my first day at that jail. I left him drooling on the floor. Oh, that must have been fun. Oh yeah, but surprisingly challenging. And that's because, he comes up to me a few weeks later, I'm ready to go again, and he actually apologizes. Turns out, he's part troll, and was trying to hide that from the rest of the jail. But the guards found out and let the cat out of the bag, so he needed to make new friends quick. Yeah, funny how that works. Oh, did you help him? Oh yeah, it held it over his head after we got out, but he paid me back in the late 70s. He became a handyman and completely renovated Boss's kitchen for a serious discount. Man, I wish I'd made friends in jail. The ones I did were drug dealers, and then when I went back while trying to get clean, I'd beat them all up whenever they tried to sell to me. And even when they didn't. A couple of other people trying to get clean also stuck close to me after that. We were our own little NA group. I mean, it worked, didn't it? Mostly. Good news? Just my sister. Nicole made her a bunch of protection charms disguised as hair accessories, so now the two of them are going shopping. Oh, no thank you. I'll take another rush over clothes shopping any day. Oh my gosh, these look so cute! And I love the variety. You are a smart cookie. Thank you. I normally don't like clothes shopping because I have to be picky, which is why I wear everything to the ground, but JC said you might be able to help. Honey, I am right here. What's the pickiness factor? Mostly my autism. I need silk, cotton, or other very soft materials, otherwise it sets off my sensitivity issues. Must be school appropriate, layers for Minnesota weather, and I don't want to spend more than $500 if possible. For a whole wardrobe. Ooh, I love a challenge. Let's start with the clearance rack and work our way up. I thought you didn't like the rack. For me, but I'm a high-maintenance bitch. You're way more sensible.